Good morning, boys and girls. How are you doing? I hope you're all doing well. Today we're going to be talking about context clues. So context clues are things inside of a story or a sentence that help you figure out a word that might be unfamiliar to you. So today we're going to read this story and then we're going to figure out what some of the words mean that might stump us up. So the story we're going to be reading today is about the ugly duckling. Hans Christian Andersen wrote the story of the ugly duckling. It tells about a small baby duck called a duckling, who is a very ugly duck. He is not very happy because all the farm animals make fun of him. Then one day the duckling grows up. He finds out he is not a duck, but a beautiful swan. Below is a part of the story. The poor duckling had crept out of his shell last of all. He looked so ugly. He was bitten and pushed and made fun of, not only by the ducks, but by all the poultry. He is too big, they all said. The turkey, who fancied himself really an emperor, puffed himself out like a vessel in full sail. He flew at the duckling and became quite red in the face with passion. The poor little duckling did not know where to go. He was quite miserable because he was so ugly and laughed at by the whole farmyard. So it went on from day to day till it got worse and worse. The poor duckling was driven about by everyone. Even his brothers and sisters were unkind to him. They would say, "Ah, you ugly creature, I wish that cat would get you." The ducks pecked him, the chickens beat him, and the girl who fed the poultry kicked him with her feet. So at last he ran away, frightening the little birds in the hedge as he flew off. So now what we're supposed to do is circle the letters of the word that mean almost the same thing as the underlined word. Use the rest of the sentence to help you make the correct meaning of the word. So this is where we're going to be using our context clues. We're going to reread the parts of the sentence that it has here for us and decide if it means one of these words, okay? So number 1 says made fun of, not only by the ducks, but by all the poultry. So we're looking at this word poultry here. Okay, so we got to figure out, what does poultry mean? And in the sentence before, it says not only by the ducks, but by all the poultry. So we have ducks here. This is one of our context clues. Ducks is, I guess, one a kind of poultry. So we have 3 options. Poultry can be vegetables, birds, or clouds. Well, I know that poultry is also talking about ducks, and I know a duck is not a vegetable or a cloud, so poultry must be another word for birds. So that's what I think that number 1 is. Poultry is birds. Number 2 said, the turkey who fancied himself really an emperor. Fancied. I wonder what fancied means. Is it A, ran, B, dressed, or C, believed? Well, the turkey who fancied himself really an emperor, I don't think the turkey who ran himself really an emperor makes sense. Or the turkey who dressed himself really an emperor makes any sense. Those don't make any sense to me. Let's try believed. The turkey who believed himself really an emperor. That sounds like it makes sense because it's saying that fancied is kind of like he believes that he is an emperor. The turkey thinks he's an emperor. So I'm going to say believed. I'm going to say believed is our answer. Number 3. Puffed himself out like a vessel in full sail. A vessel. Our options here is ship, cake, and goose. Puffed himself out like a vessel in full sail. Sail. I know a boat has a sail, like a ship. They have sails that help them swim. Let's try putting in some of these words to see if we can make sense. Puffed himself out like a ship in full sail. That kind of makes sense. Let's try the other ones. Puffed himself out like a cake in full sail. Cake? I've never seen a cake in full sail. I don't think that makes any sense. What about goose? Puffed himself out like a goose in full sail. I don't really think that makes any sense either. So I'm going to say that vessel is another word for ship. Became quite red in the face with passion. Okay, well, whenever I get red in the face, and you guys know I get red in the face sometimes when I get upset, whenever I get kind of frustrated or angry. Let's see what our options are. Sunrise, rain, and anger. Let's try to fit the words into the sentence. Let's see. Became quite red in the face with sunrise? No, that doesn't really make any sense. Became quite red in the face with rain? No, I don't think that makes any sense. Became quite red in the face with anger. Yeah, I think it's anger. Anger makes the most sense here. So whenever he came red in the face, he was angry. Let's look at number 5. Was quite miserable because he was so ugly and laughed at. I wonder what miserable means. It says in the next line that he was so ugly and laughed at. I would not be happy if I was ugly and people were laughing at me. What are our options? Calm. Was quite calm because he was so ugly and laughed at. I don't think I would be calm. I'd be very upset. Was quite unhappy because he was so ugly and laughed at. Yeah, I feel like that one makes pretty good sense. Let's try the last one. Was quite hungry because he was so ugly and laughed at. I think it's unhappy because I would be very unhappy if I was ugly and laughed at. Number 6. Even his brothers and sisters were unkind to him. I wonder what unkind means. Well, we know in the story that his brothers and sisters all thought he was ugly and laughed at him. Is it mean, helpful, or asleep? Well, his brothers and sisters were asleep to him doesn't make sense. And even his brothers and sisters were helpful to him. We know they weren't helpful to him. So the only one that makes sense here is mean. Unkind means mean. Number 7. Would say, "Ah, you ugly creature, I wish the cat would get you." What does creature mean? Well, we know that he's talking about the duck. And a duck is a kind of animal, so let's see what our options are. Would say, "Ah, you ugly door." Well, he's not a door, that's for sure. Would say, "Ah, you ugly animal." Yeah, he was an animal. What about the last choice, though? Would say, "Ah, you ugly apple." No, I'm going to go with animal because animal makes the most sense here. And number 8. So at last he ran away, frightening the little birds. Frightening. What does frightening mean? He ran away, frightening the little birds. So at last he ran away, writing the little birds? No, he wasn't writing anything. So at last he ran away, feeding the little birds? If he was running away, he sure wasn't feeding anybody. He was trying to get out of there. What's our last option? Scaring. So at last he ran away, scaring the little birds. I would say that's a good choice. Frightening means scaring. I would say that's what the answer is. So let's look at our the answer key and see if we got them right. Poultry means birds. Did we put that one? Yes, we got that one right. Fancy means believed. We got that one right. Vessel means ship. We got that one right. Passion means anger. We got that one right. Miserable means unhappy. We got that one right. Unkind means mean. I know we got that one right. Creature means animal. We got that one right. And let's see if frightening means scary. Frightening does mean scary. Then we got it all right. So that's how we use our context clues to help us figure out words that we don't quite understand. It helps us to use other words in the sentence to help us figure out what they mean, okay? So while you're doing your lesson today, try to use this video to help you navigate and to figure out what words in the sentence mean.